Hello and welcome to the podcast Matching Voices with me, Gillian Gottsell. Today I am interviewing the CEO and co-founder of TeQatlas, who is the sponsor and idea behind an amazing initiative to help Ukraine startups. So Ruslan Gavrilyuk, thank you very much indeed for coming on the program.
Thank you very much, Jill. Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here.
No, thank you indeed. So I want to do this interview in three parts. I want to talk about your background and your experience. I want to talk about then TeQatlas, the platform that was set up pre the war in Ukraine. And then I want to talk about why it's even more important, the issues facing startups, plus throw in a bit of war and what can we do? And it's not going away. So first of all, Ruslan, can you tell me a bit about your background and your career, please?
Yeah, I have graduated from Linguistic University in Kiev, was going to the boarding school before, had a couple of certificates like international programs. Last one was in Oxford University. Really keen on getting new knowledges and experience since my childhood. Yeah, really have a passion for that. Have been always interested in math, psychology, philosophy. At the early stage, started working, I guess, in the university from the first grade. And it was a top job as a salesperson. And then I moved up the career ladder and understood that, started doing the management work. And I understood that, okay, this is pretty better, way better, rather than sales. Yeah, I cannot say this is something not necessary, but it was really cool experience for me to understand how the system works. So with the more power, more opportunities to operate, to develop some programs, I understood that the only the only impediment for me is actually the boss. So I started like my entrepreneurial career from the age of 20. Founded the tourism company. Then I founded the apparel business, developed a couple of brands. One of the cases was the skateboarding company. I was keen in skateboarding and tried to help a lot of kids that it was really costly for them to buy the new deck. So we provided the new technology, provided the ecosystem for them, infrastructure. We sold that brand called Drunkstar to United States. After that, I was a kind of on sabbatic and moved to Africa, tried to opportunity, ended up living there for 5 years. We had really good projects over there. Was consulting many companies in mobile money solutions. Then we performed pretty well with the geotech project. It is a kind of, we got a kind of Guinness Book of Records in Nigeria, where we managed within 1 year to perform, to sign the agreement, to get the license, to get to develop the projects within 1 year, when it actually takes about 8 years.
Were you genuine in the Guinness Book of Records, or are you using it as an expression?
No, it is geotech projects. This is what I mean. Geotechnological project. We bought some technologies and brought them to Nigeria and promoted them, and we brought the whole team over there. It was really nice experience where I can write a book, I guess, on the experience in Africa. Many stories I cannot tell, but it embraces from kidnapping to successful projects.
Wow.
Yeah. So once you love Africa, you cannot leave Africa. And I ended up living there for 5 years, and it taught me well about the different mentalities and applicability, how you cannot implement the same model, deploy in the different countries, being a European, deploying this model into Nigeria or Cameroon. It doesn't work. You have to consider the ethics, you have to consider the mentality, you have to respect that and to adjust that model and to play the local rules.
And that's where your interest in psychology probably came into. To understand the local culture.
After that, I came back to Ukraine, to Kiev, and had a lovely conversation. It was in 2015. I had a lovely conversation with our friends, nerds. Yeah, they were telling me about blockchain, about Bitcoin. Yeah, I became pretty much interested. Then
did you understand it at first? Did you get the whole point when you heard it?
It was really sounding ridiculous that nobody is behind it. It is fully decentralized, and for me, it sounded really as a freedom, because I do respect freedom. That's why I wanted to work from the early childhood to become independent and for the parents that I didn't share much of the future perspectives and the many visions we didn't share much. Yeah, how I was imagining how the world should be functioning and what my life gonna be. That's why for me, freedom is a key, is the fundamental actually of any human. That's why it opened my eyes that it provides a lot of opportunities. I mean, not only Bitcoin, but blockchain in general. That's why I started being interested in that pretty much. And we started trading the cryptocurrencies. Then we organized the first tokenized closed-end fund in the world called TAS, Token as a Service. Then we had the second fund. And then we came up to TeQatlas. This is where we are.
So this is that's your journey. So interestingly,
Yeah.
live in different countries, experience different cultures, which makes you open. Like, because actually, if you think about it, Bitcoin is a different country as well, isn't it? It's a whole different way of thinking.
Absolutely.
So your other experiences prepared you when you came to this amazing technology to understand it's not just a currency, it's a whole different country, decentralized. So, and you've also then had the experience of the VC fund. So explain a little bit about TeQatlas then. What were you thinking about when you set up that platform? And when was it set up? What year was it set up in?
To start explaining about TeQatlas, how was it born? We were working entirely with blockchain projects, mostly Web 3.0. We invested over 50 companies and analyzed about like 2,000 projects. We had the team about 40 people, and it became impossible to scale, to help many people, to consult them, to invest, to help them to raise money, because it is like full-time job. It is a real obstacle and time-consuming work. That's why we said, like, okay, we cannot scale, we cannot automate many things. We started using so many different tools and features and buying a lot of available from the market, but we couldn't find the single one that actually can replace many of the things. So we started analyzing the market that is inefficient pretty much due to its information flow, due to its capital flow. You can imagine only 65 million companies have an unmet financial need of 5.2 trillions every year. And these are only in developing countries. So we could imagine that everyone could have the same access to the network or Miami right now. That would be really democratical, would be really revolutionary. So we actually started analyzing a lot of problems that investees and investors are meeting, and ended up with over 180 inefficiencies on the market that were defined. And we made that call to change this industry that haven't been changed for decades, where that is overregulated, is pretty old, is not flexible, limited, monopolized, too expensive to use, even for the investors and investees, really time consuming, not effective at all. So desire to invest and get access to good deals didn't leave me, but there was not much time to repetitive tasks. So it was a combination. I cannot say that TeQatlas was born just 2 years ago. It was during all our journey together with the team. The team has tremendous experience as well. Many of them were founders of the projects. They know pretty many pains and sharing the same view. They are sharing the same pains. So this is how TeQatlas was born.
So how do you, okay, I understand there are lots of impediments to accessing finance, accessing credit. You say it's expensive, it's laborious, only the favored few can get through to whatever. So how does TeQatlas actually address that? How do you eliminate all those issues?
TeQatlas is actually the platform that provides end-to-end investment solution to connect private marketplace globally. It is based on 3 main pillars. It is global networking, set of solutions, and augmented analytics. We were concentrated on the user as the key persona, and around the user has to choose the relevant solution due to his needs right now. And the system, the loads of data and networks, we should pick up the relevant peers due to the current needs. So these are the set of technologies that includes machine learning, AI, and blockchain solutions. a huge stack of technologies we have. It is a heavy infrastructure because we're trying to solve tremendous tremendous amount there to change the industry that had been functioning not effectively for a long time. To direct the algorithm will be working on the benefit for people rather than benefiting out of people's behavior.
So how many so on the one hand, you have investors coming onto the platform. How are you attracting them, or are there many? On the other side, you have the startup. So talk to me about how the investors come on board.
Yeah, we have, because investors and investees have the entire all-in-one solution. Right now, we are in a beta testing, but gonna expand more and more to developing more features and to with the possibility for users not to leave platform at all, because this is the attraction, this is the history, this is the network, this is the relations. They can do pretty many things. Like it is a closed all-in-one cycle, investment cycle, whether you're raising capital or you are looking for the funds. For the VCs, yeah, I mentioned we had the really good experience in investing capital. I love to invest capital, but it allows much more possibilities for the people, because you don't have any borders. Yeah, you don't need to be Anderson Horowitz, or
You don't have to be in Wall Street. You can be
you don't need to be. If you can imagine, this is a combination of Palantir, Bloomberg, and top tier auditing firms all in one, but it is like almost free. The unique business model of our platform is to benefit together with the users, when they are getting results. So it is a kind of result-based fee.
And how do you make sure that there are no bad actors on the platform?
We're developing the multidimensional verification system that allows to eliminate these kind of actions. Of course, we cannot guarantee there are no bad actors, but the system is designed in the way that actually people are benefiting from the honesty, and actually trust is the new currency for our platform. It is based on TeQatlas. It is based on the transparency, immutability, and commitment. We really encourage the openness, but accountability reinforced by safe communications and fair transactions.
And you're in beta. Sorry. I cut across you there. Sorry, you were.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you're in beta at the moment, I was going to say. So are any of these matches being made, or are you just exploring how they're going to look?
Yeah, we're constantly working on algorithms and the number of scorings that will help to make a faster decision for the user, whether he's raising capital or he's looking for the investment opportunity. Right now, we have been constantly working on it like for the last 2 years. And the algorithm, this is what we are going to enhance, switching a lot of data sets, switching a lot of instruments together, personalizing the data. The data going to be used just between the user and the platform, and it's stored within the user. And it is upon the user to disclose the information to share to the public. So there is no any listing, nothing over on the platform. The platform just provides you relevant peers that you need at the moment.
And have any matches been made so far? Just to clarify that.
The matches we actually get, we analyze about like 35 million pairs, and we gonna be about the number of billions of pairs gonna be analyzed soon, because we are loading a lot of information, validating, structuring the data. So there will be pretty many matches done. So we're going to be counting in billions. Yeah.
Billions. Okay. And when does it go live?
It is already live, but it is a kind of closed beta, because we are having analyzing the user's experience, analyzing the behavioristics, and analyzing many other things to help the user to have a seamless journey, to have the better experience, to get the faster result, not to waste on the repetitive tasks and repetitive analytics, hours and hours. You know, that about like we counted that about 4.9 billion is wasted on the repetitive tasks by analysts done every year in the investment firms. You can easily replace that. That doesn't mean we are replacing analysts. We are just providing more advanced opportunities to them. We are providing more opportunities to the VC and investment banks to be the leaders, to lead and to get the people following them, rather than using LPs, using unrealized capital, charging the fees on top. This is the inefficiency of the capital. And this is a great problem. So the investment banks, the VCs, they have really good experience. They know how to do deal. They can share their due diligence on our platform. They can benefit out of it. And it is up to people to decide, up to the investors, other investors to decide whether they like it, they would like to follow, or they would like to co-invest with them. So there is a lot of friction and intermediaries right now in the current structure, and all the private equity market is really inefficient and fractioned, and there is no single source of truth. And we do believe that TeQatlas might take that pace and will become a single source of truth due to the collaborative intelligence and mutually benefits that our users are getting on the platform, because for them will be no need to lie to themselves. It is like using the personal assistant Tosha on the platform will be the same as coming to the doctor and saying like, oh God, I have the headache, but instead you have the stomachache. Doesn't help, you know, you're gonna get the wrong pill. In our case, the same. So you have to be open to your personal assistant. This data is safe between you and your personal assistant is not used, and is irrelevant actually to all other users, for you to train your personal assistant and to get better and better results. In the end of the day, it will be, we hope that investments and looking for the funds, it will be just one click or couple clicks. Wow. It will be no need to waste years. In some cases, we witnessed that 3 years people wasted on the on raising capital or raising the funds for the fund. The same problem.
Wow, that's very interesting. So TeQatlas is a platform which you have, it's formed in 2019, but it's taken your career to develop it. So then tell me now, how does that apply with your initiative with Ukraine at the moment? What are you talking about and looking at?
At the moment, we are trying to help. We got in the situation that we had to prove. I'm originally from Ukraine. I've been living all over the world, but I have been feeling, raising the capital, have been feeling that pain. You have to prove, oh, where is Ukraine? It is about somewhere from Russia or somewhere there. Well, we are not sure. And Russia had bad traction already over there, and we used to have co-share that bad traction with Russia. And I remember those days how difficult it was to raise and prove that you are actually the other guy, rather than there is a general opinion. But still, we have so much talented people in Ukraine, really one of the best countries where the development is on the very high level, #1 in Europe in outsourcing dev service, I guess #3 in the world in outsourcing dev service. They have been the first, right now, the country among all over the world to accept the digital passport, national digital passport. Many of the governmental institutions and registries being digitized and simplified to beat the corruption, to simplify the access, and to make the things working faster. I'm happy that in the government there are many people that are familiar with blockchain, because it took me a while before to influence and explain that blockchain there is nothing bad there. We just can have real transparency through blockchain solutions. So it was, we started thinking that the mess started happening in Ukraine, where it is really difficult to realize. To watching on TV is one thing, but as a company, we had a lot of plans. Yeah, we had the contingency plan. We understood where it goes. I mean, the work might start soon, but within one day, we had the contingency plan, what to do, how to move. But we are all human, and we start thinking about our relatives, our parents. We are not thinking just about work and what we are doing. We start moving around. And of course, it is emotions, and it is really painful. And to concentrate in these moments is really difficult. I've been living, as I mentioned, in Africa in very dangerous zones. I've seen war conflicts many times, and I remember the first time where it was in panic. And unfortunately, many people lost the jobs, many people lost the opportunity, the faith, the possibilities to access capital, or even to work and sleep normally. Our development team, we have tremendous team that I'm really grateful for their work and really appreciate all of them. Our dev team is working out of bunkers, of shelters, and these alarms all the time ringing, and you have to concentrate. It is really difficult, but we are strong Ukrainians that are getting used. We are not afraid and gonna be winning and will win. But the initiative came, we understood that many startups actually need to get the access to relevant expertise, need the help. They lost many things. They don't have access to outer world as well, because they cannot travel, many men, because they are military obliged, but they need to work on and move on what they started before, what they were dreaming about, because the strong vision is the key, the team is the key, and it is very important not to lose that. That's why we started that initiative, to deliver that message to the investors, to start matching these projects, good projects, with the investors, helping them within the entire journey, helping by consulting them with the expertise, with the different providers, with the different companies that are providing different features for free for them that are necessary for the products, that are necessary for fundraising campaign. About the strategy, you have a lot of things to help on the fundraising journey. And for us, it is important for them to get their success in the end of the day, and to become, for the strong people to become more stronger. Whatever is trying to kill us is just making us stronger.
It doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. Yeah. So this initiative is all about, it's looking at startups who still need money, support, mentoring, and investors who are looking at investments to say that Ukrainian startups are a great way to spend your money. They need the money. They need, whether they're based in Ukraine or outside the country borders. This is a really good and positive initiative to say these startups are still there. They haven't gone away. They haven't gone away. That they're not.
Absolutely. Besides that, Jill, besides that, we have our task was to explain to the world why we should stop Russian investments globally. Just from the day first, I guess, when we had SWIFT blockade and some other initiatives by European Union and United States, but this is like big boys game, that don't influence actually mid cap and small cap and micro cap companies. But there is huge amounts of money there, and they are all looking for to grow. They are all looking for international markets and trade globally, to provide their services globally. That's why our initiative, first one, was to blockade Russian investments and Russian startups. I mean, Russian investors and startups that are actually paying the taxes inside the country, paying the taxes out of profit, out of gains. And in this case, it is finance, that the war is finance. This was difficult and challenging to explain to many people why we are doing that, because we had different reaction, but actually 90% majority of them, they have been supporting this initiative. And we ended up in the position that we really need to help. Stop blocking is okay, but real help for the startups is really important.
Okay, because the startups are going to help the country get back on its feet again after.
Absolutely, they are very fragile, and they need to get back. Many people want to get back. We have about 5 million people that have left the country because they are forced to leave the country, because they don't have any other opportunity. Another about 10 million people just relocated in the country to looking for the safest surrounding for their families and kids, where but I'm really surprised how strong the nation is and how fast they're getting back, how they are united, and how they are getting back on track, and they have much more passion to and much more desire to prove to the world that, and to deliver their project, to deliver their ideas. One hand they are volunteering, another hand they are ordering some trying to help the IT army, and with the, I don't know, on the free time they are developing at night the projects, the products.
Okay, so the bottom line is that startups, Ukrainian startups, still need money more than ever.
Yeah.
And so, should they approach you? Should they approach TeQatlas? Is that what's the best method for startups to approach you and for investors to approach you?
If they're approaching me as an investor, individual investor, I can advise personally a lot of companies that might help them, and of course they should approach TeQatlas because we don't charge any fees for Ukrainian startups. We donate all the fees for the humanitarian needs that we're generating from this particular venture. But for sure, they should approach us so we can help them as much as we can, with a dedicated team that is engaged in that 24/7.
Brilliant. And the address where to find you? The website?
TeQatlas.com.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time today, Russ. Thank you.
Thank you too, Jill. Thank you very much.